Just being honest. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Nothing but the truth, yeah. Honesty, CJ, honesty. CJ, honesty. Just being honest. Nothing but the truth.
Here on CJ Honesty, we will not tolerate the following: disrespect of religious beliefs, sexual orientation, sexism, racism, and colorism. All the isms, alright? Thank you. Welcome to another episode of CJ Honesty. Today we're going to get into the topic cheating. That's our topic for today. And what is considered cheating, the four different forms of cheating, why do men and women cheat, and do men and women love differently, and should you break up or work it out if one of the person cheats, or if both of you cheat? Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into that, I'm going to talk about Lisa Ray. If you haven't heard, she came out with a statement earlier this week. I forgot what day, but she said that she made a comment saying she will want to have an entanglement with Will Smith, and I think that was inappropriate because you already know they're going to have some problems, so why add to that? Mm-hmm. She should have just kept that to herself. Even though she said it in a joking way, I don't, even if someone was joking personally, for me, I wouldn't accept that. I'd be like, no, you're not, what did you say? I don't care if me and my man having problems. If you say you're going to have an entanglement with him, yeah, we're going to have some words, because you could have kept that to yourself. It could have been just stick to, your thoughts, and that's it. Because you already know Will and Jada's having problems. Everybody know that. If you've been on Jada's IG, she's deleted all her pictures, and now it's the Breonna Taylor name on her whole IG, because she did that so it wouldn't be about her. She wouldn't focus on her situation, so that's why she did it. She deflects everything. So you already know something's going on, so why comment about it? Maybe Lisa Ray, maybe for me, she could say, he's attractive or something. That's it. Mm-hmm. But entanglement, basically, you're saying you want to have sex with him. That's it. Right. That's it. Why? That's inappropriate. If someone's taken, it's not that hard to keep that to yourself. Yeah. You can think it all you want, but personally, I thought that was not acceptable. What do you think, John?
It sounded like, well, basically, she was joking about it, but you know what people say about jokes. Sometimes there's some kind of seriousness behind a joke, every joke. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if she was being serious or not. Maybe she was. She probably was, but she played it off by being, joking around with it. Mm-hmm. And she probably knew that Jada really wasn't going to say anything, because Jada, in some sense, I guess you could say she's not in a space to really say anything. So she probably figured she could just get away with saying it. But as Will's wife, of course she has a right to say something.
Exactly. So, even though she's in the wrong, it wasn't Lisa Ray's place to say that.
Yeah. But Lisa Ray probably knew that most people, if you cheat on somebody and then you go and say what Lisa Ray said, the person who cheated probably isn't going to really retaliate depending on who the person is. So.
Well, in this case. Okay, but still. So what? Okay. I get what you mean. It's just that I thought.
She probably just thought she could get away with it.
I mean, she took advantage of the time to do it, of that time to do it, say it. That's what it was.
And you don't know, maybe she got a movie coming out so she could put the spotlight on herself.
But Lisa Ray's actually on a talk show.
Oh, she is?
Think. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't know if it was, I'm not sure if it was on there because I just read about it. but I wasn't sure if she said it on her
It
talk show.
probably was. I don't
They
know
didn't
what else
specify
she was
though.
talking about that on. Like, I don't think she's
The
being
article that I
interviewed
read.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, that's Lisa Ray. I'm done talking about her.
Yeah, I have nothing to say about her.
Yeah. So let's get into this cheating. First thing we're gonna do is talk about the different forms of cheating. Everybody, I believe, has different definitions of cheating,
Mhm.
or some people might just think that cheating comes down to just plain old having intercourse with somebody who's not your spouse, but it's so much more than that,
Mhm.
and we're gonna get into that. One of the forms of cheating is financially.
Yeah, when it comes to money, yeah,
So
that can be a form of cheating. You buying gifts for someone else. Mhm.
yeah, okay, so I can
So
see
you
that.
like spoiling someone with
Yeah.
y'all money.
Oh wow.
Like you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like okay, let's reference something. That movie with the Tyler Perry movie with the girl who gets HIV.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that movie, y'all know what it is. I forgot the name. It slipped out of my mind. But so she cheat on her husband, right? She goes with that dude, and they go on the airplane, like a private plane, and he takes her to the club and stuff. You know, buy her anything. That's I don't know if she bought him anything, but anyways, she did cheat.
I think before they actually had sexual relations with each other, he was like buying her roses and stuff like that.
Mhm. But did she ever brought anything for him?
No, I don't think so. But I think either one of those is kind of wrong, whether you're receiving gifts from somebody or whether you're giving gifts to somebody. It's okay to give gifts, if it's you're being a good Christian or something like that,
a good person,
or just a good person in general. But if you're doing it because you're romantically, or you just attracted to that person physically, you just giving that person gifts, of course that's cheating. Or you're just constantly receiving gifts. Like you hear a lot of times people say, oh well, I never asked this of this person, but you was receiving it though. You didn't tell them to stop. So come on now. So the next one would be common interest.
So common interest. Basically, you can cheat on someone with that by just going out with someone who has a same common interest as you.
Oh, so
let's
just
say y'all
spending
both.
time with
Yeah,
somebody.
if that person
interest.
if that person likes to go hiking, you go with them to hike. If that person I don't know, anything. Bowling, you go out with them bowling.
Yeah.
So if y'all both like that. If y'all both like to dance, y'all can go to a dance class. I don't. It could be that.
Oh, definitely.
People don't think about that.
Definitely be a no.
Yeah, especially. But I can kind of see. I can kind of see why that could happen.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything in common with with your person you're with.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you shouldn't. I don't see how you can be with somebody who you don't have anything in common. I can see if you don't got some things in common. That's a part of a relationship. You learn about the opposites of each other, and you learn to love each other. That's how you fall in love with somebody. But just out flat, not having no interest that's common with each other, that's kind of silly.
Well, opposites attract.
That too.
I don't know. I like
just completely opposite. I don't see how that would work.
I like to have
something
in common.
Yeah.
Like you and me have a lot in common.
Yeah, but that's not common though, that you would be with somebody who you got a lot in common with. It's normally like 50-50.
Yeah.
But just like not having anything in common with somebody, I don't even know how you can get into a relationship like that.
Well, sometimes people just go based on money with someone else.
Well, then that wouldn't be that. That's a whole nother podcast. That wouldn't even be love. But yeah, if I would even say, if you were to go I guess, out with the opposite sex, and you both, let's say you both like hiking, and you go out with that person, but your other significant other isn't with you. It's just you and that person. Okay, I guess in that sense, you would just pretty much tell your spouse, like, I'm going with this person here, and I'm gonna be back home by this time. So in that sense, I can see it being acceptable. But if you're just constantly going out with this person every weekend, something's wrong. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. So the next one would be messaging. So messaging, that's DMing on,
that falls under that.
DMing on Instagram, messaging on Facebook, messaging on Twitter,
Instagram.
I say Instagram.
Oh, okay.
DMing. Any platform that you can message each other, text message. First of all, you shouldn't be having nobody else's number like that, but text messages, So I would say with that, it wouldn't be anything wrong with messaging somebody if you're talking about business. If you're talking about, hey, I did this with my child. My child did this at school. Do you know anything about this project or something like that? If it's something just common, conversation, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just flirting with that person,
talking about dating them,
or you telling your business about, what you and your spouse is going through or anything like that, I think that you going out of territory. That's when you start getting into the cheating territory.
Wait, getting back to do you think when you said you think it crosses the line when you talk about your problems with someone else, but what if you ask for advice? If you go to someone for advice, you don't think?
I don't think that's cheating. Over the line. I don't think that's over the line. I think it gets over the line when, let's say you're telling this person, me and this person is having problems. What do you think we should do? Because you're a male, maybe you can see it in a different form. Or you're a female, maybe you can see it in a different form. Help me understand this person. That's nothing wrong with that. But if that person that you're trying to get advice from tries to sneak something in there like, you're having these problems, but I can do better, or if it was me, then I would be doing this. That's where you got to be careful, Nothing wrong with conversation. Just you got to set boundaries with everything. So the next thing would just be plain old dating,
having a whole nother life.
Just going out.
Second life.
You're supposed to be at work, but somebody, let's say you work at a big office, glass building, 15 to let's say 50 floor tall building downtown. You in the office, you working late. Your wife or your husband or your significant other is waiting at home for you. You're supposed to be working late. You call them and say, hey, I'm working late. Because somebody just came in your office and said, hey, how about we go get a bite to eat or whatever like that. Like, once you get into the place where you feel like you got to lie and you out with somebody else, you spending time with somebody else. First of all, what are you doing out with somebody else? What do you really think that's about to happen? Do you really think you're just going to be able to be out with the opposite sex like that and just so-called be just having conversation and vibing like that? Like, that's how you... that's how you catch feelings for people. Like,
that's being unrealistic.
Yeah, and you just lied about where you was. So yeah.
And who you was with too.
And who you were with. Yeah. So another one would be emotionally. So you can emotionally cheat.
Yeah.
Give me something on that.
Okay, so emotional would be like being there for someone if they're going through something, like, and if it's affecting their emotions, and then, or also telling, like, open up to someone about your feelings about, I guess, your significant other.
Yeah.
That can you can emotionally be cheating. That's considered emotional cheating.
Okay. Yeah.
So
You know what's funny? Even as ministers in the church, they would tell us, the elder ministers that came before us, they would tell us, be careful on praying one-on-one with the opposite sex by yourself. So they would tell us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would tell us, because if you get into a common thing where you just keep on every so and so day, you just keep on. There's nobody else in the room, it's just you and that person. Not that there can be I guess sexually there, because you're praying, you know, in the presence of God and everything. But prayer in itself is still a very intimate thing. You're being intimate with God, and when you're getting into a relationship with God, your feelings and your emotions are out there. So not only is God right there, but the other person is right there. So when you're done talking to God, you know, something happened, like, oh, how about we go get a bite to eat, or you don't know where things can head. They used to say that stuff can get tangled up if that's not what you're trying to do. Like if you're
a mentor, right?
Yeah.
You pray with the opposite sex. It doesn't mean you're trying to like.
Yeah, exactly. No, what I was saying is that not being constantly in the same room by myself with them, I wouldn't do that. Like if I would go
one-on-one though with her.
Yeah, one-on-one with her.
Girl,
yeah.
The woman, right?
No. So what I'm saying is that I wouldn't do it on a consistent basis, like constantly coming to that person's house by myself. Like I would do it.
That's what I thought you did. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that, unless she's trying to give it to the
No. Well, you never know anybody's
intentions.
True intentions.
But when it comes to prayer, I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
It's different. That's a different perspective. That's an interesting one too.
That's just advice that people get, ministers.
But I never heard of that. As long as I guess if you're single, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But if you're in a relationship, then I guess you can start getting close to that person. But you're a mentor, so I don't get how you're in a relationship with me now. So you're a mentor, so how that's gonna work?
Well, it wouldn't I don't know if I'm explaining. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, y'all. But
I don't know
y'all comment and tell me if you getting what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that I wouldn't. On YouTube and Instagram. What I'm trying to say is that I wouldn't. Okay, so every day of the week I'm going over this person's house.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm praying with.
But if you have a set schedule for that person,
that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Having a set schedule is important.
Yeah, because you're mentoring someone.
Yeah.
You're praying.
And having a balance and balance with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see what you mean now. Because I wasn't sure what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Oh, and it becoming like an emotional relationship. Like
it can turn into one, and they can actually start instead of looking to God, now they're looking
to you. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Next one, verbally. That kind of falls on the messaging, but verbally, actually talking to them.
Yeah, actually, I guess talking to them, consoling with somebody else.
In conversation, one-on-one, face-to-face.
Yeah.
That's another form of cheating.
Yeah, and then the one everybody knows is physically. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
definitely the no. That's
a no. Even if it's a hug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because guys, I get excited, and you know where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah.
So, and the last one.
Dance aside without another person. Wait, even if it's
the celebrities, yes, guys. We talked about this. So John has a huge crush on this singer named Snow Allegra. I can admit she's pretty and all, but if you have thought about, if you lusted after her or had some sexual thoughts of her while you was with me, then that's cheating, okay? So confess now.
No, so definitely, I think everybody in their childhood and everything had celebrity crushes and all that. I think you first of all you get into danger when you start fantasizing about people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so
Well, anyone, not just celebrities.
just period. Even if you're not in a relationship, I think it's still a dangerous mindset to be just sitting there.
Because then you become obsessed with them. Right?
Yeah, they almost like becoming like an idol to you, like. So yeah.
Oh, like that show on Netflix, You.
Yeah,
Joe is the character Joe. If you have not watched it, it's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix.
Yeah,
check that out, y'all. I need to check that out. It's really good. It had 2 seasons, coming out with a 3rd one. I just thought about that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Mhm. All right, so moving on to the next thing. Why do people cheat? Why do men and women cheat? There are several reasons why they cheat. So the first one is, we think it's the main thing why people cheat is because of lack of communication. Where that can, in our previous episodes, we talked about how social media can impact relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And since a lot of people just message and text and all that, I think a lot of people in our generation, and even the next generation, Gen Z, they don't know how to communicate. So just because of social media, because they're used to just emojis and DMs and all that. Yeah. So that eliminates like a face-to-face interaction. Yeah. So people cheat because of lack of communication, because they don't know how to communicate.
Communication skills, period. Or in life, they're lacking in it.
Yeah, and even sometimes communication, most of the time, can be negative. Mm-hmm. I know that, based on my experiences, my communication with my exes were negative because I always end up getting an argument with them, and it created tension. Mm-hmm. So I always felt like I was attacked. So therefore, since I felt like I was always attacked, when they would say something to me, then I would get an attitude or I get offended, and then we end up in like an argument. Mm-hmm. And then I've done this before. When I would get in an argument with them, I would just threaten to like break up with them. I know that's bad. Mm-hmm. That was my little thing, and like I was like thinking about it. I felt bad. That it's not good to threaten anyone of breaking up, because if you're gonna do it, just do it. Yeah. You know. And I've been through that before with an ex. Or like I would just say that. So.
But I think with the communication today, though, goes a little bit deeper than what you were just saying about the trouble that you was having. I'm not saying that arguing is good, but at least she was arguing.
It was toxic though.
Yeah, but
it was like for me, it was all the time.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that's not. I don't like that.
This generation of people, it's like a thing where they don't even have a understanding of the difference between listening to somebody and hearing somebody. Most people talk, so they just let you talk, and they let you get whatever you're going to say out the way, so they can hurry up and rush and say what they want to say. Mm-hmm. And they don't actually take the time and listen to what the person is saying. They don't take the time to understand what the person is saying. They hear words. Mm-hmm. And like we've been talking about on the past couple episodes, like we talked about it on the last episode about communication, then we talked about it on the episode with Pastor John and Pastor Tasha about with communication. You don't just tell somebody something, because everybody has different definitions of things and perceptions of words and different perceptions of phrases that you say. Yeah, so you explain what you mean when you say it, so that the person understands what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people nowadays, they don't have the patience to do that. They say everything, or even with going on another route with communication. Just when I was single, you could see the difference between if you were to let's say I'm DMing a girl, or as opposed to if I'm talking to somebody in public. It's almost, I noticed that there's so much of a surprise from the female that a man is actually talking to her in public, like has the courage to talk to her in public. I thought it was a regular thing, but nowadays it's like, oh, you got the guts to talk to me like an actual person. Like people, like females, really think like that's a impressive thing. Like really, it's just a normal communication thing to be able to talk to somebody. I feel like.
Well, yeah, it is. And I think a lot of people need to work on that communicating. A lot of couples too.
Yeah.
Especially, if you want to build something with that person, and that's communication is very important.
And here's another toxic thing about communication before we go on. I see a lot of couples from me mentoring different people is that they will, in order to not communicate so they don't have to have the conversation, they say, okay, well, let's have sex, or let's
wait, make up sex.
And then here's the problem with that. You have sex and then okay, but the problem is still there after you get done.
Yeah, I can relate.
So the problem is there when you still get done. So that's the problem. That's why that's
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good. So next, so another reason why people cheat is because the person who was cheated on wants to seek revenge. And I want to connect that to the Will and Jada Smith entanglement situation, because during that her episode of the Red Table Talk, Will was like, he did mention, I'm gonna get you back. So that was I was like, yo, he's probably serious.
Yeah.
Because he was joking, and he said in a joking way, but he would do it. Based on
it seemed like he was getting a little sick.
Yeah, I was like, that's just, a lot of people, they want some type of, it's like a tit for tat.
Yeah.
And that's toxic too.
Yeah.
If someone cheating on you, if you can't handle it, just move on. That's all.
Yes.
Why go through the revenge and all that? Seek revenge.
I feel like you should just leave.
Like just to, no. Another reason is, the person wants to receive attention due to lack of attention from their partner. So let's say your partner or whatever, your significant other is working a lot, and they're not having that a lot of times where you're to be intimate with each other. You may start talking to someone on Instagram, and they're giving you that attention that you want, and then that would basically, if that keeps happening, if you're consistent with that person, that may lead to, having sex with them and stuff. Yeah. So that's you cheating on that person all different types of ways. And I think a lot of it doesn't matter. I think women and men go through that. I think a lot of people say women. I think women do that a little bit more than men. I think men do it, but you got some insecure men. But more so, if a woman cheats, it's mainly her reasons are either financially, she feels like she's not being supported, so she leaves, or she's not getting the attention that she wants. Okay, yeah, a lot of women express that.
Most men don't really leave as far as being cheated on. The only way a man, I feel like most men will leave a woman is if a woman physically cheats on him or emotionally cheats on him.
Yeah, I think the physical is the main thing.
Yeah.
Main reason. But yeah, I get what you mean. I was trying not to generalize. I was trying to be like, okay.
I was trying not to too, but at the same time, you gotta be kind of real with it.
Hey, no, okay. Yeah, we gotta be honest here, right? I mean, I am honest. It's just that.
I got you.
I'm just trying to be like.
Trying to give the ladies some slack.
Hey, no. I'm trying to broaden people's minds. not to be stuck on one thing about particular sex. Like,
Yeah.
it may, even though, like, how I feel, guys don't say much because women are more vocal. But I feel like guys go through similar things that we go through. They just don't say nothing. So that's why I said both.
We're trained. Most men are trained.
So I want to just,
Nothing.
I want to just broaden people's minds and let them see things in a different light.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, next one, another reason is to seek excitement. So, I mean, sometimes, you know, you might get complacent in your life with that person. That can happen, and like that person may, I mean, you may learn later on down the line that person may be boring, but they didn't show that because they wanted to impress you. So of course they'll take you all these different places and do things with you in the beginning. Then 6 months later, it's like, okay, I'm tired of watching, staying in and watching movies. So like, you know, sometimes people want something exciting, and that can happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. Of course, lack of sex. Not having a lot of sex, but people cheat for that reason, for the physical part. And then last is emotionally. Someone can cheat on their partner. All right.
So the next one we will be talking about is men's interpretation of receiving love. So the different ways that men receive love and women receive love. So I believe that men's interpretation of receiving love is, number one, they receive love by giving respect from the person. I think the second one would be, and it's not any particular order, I'm just putting a number to it. I think the second one would be physical, as far as like being physically intimate with their spouse. And then the third one would be the actions of the person, basically showing the person, you know, or giving some kind of effort and showing that he's loved. I believe also the way men give love is by providing. The second one would be pretty much the same as being physical. And the third one is giving material things. Most men like giving material things to their women, and that's pretty much how they show their love. I believe that woman's interpretation of receiving love, you can handle that one, too.
All right, so women's interpretation is to receive love is through emotional intimacy, and I want to refer to a licensed psychologist in Colorado. His name is Dr. Walt Fisher, and he said emotional intimacy is a sense of closeness developed with one another, with another person over time. Usually it involves a feeling of safety and having your inner thoughts and feelings known and accepted. Everyone desires a different level of emotional intimacy based on their attachment experiences growing up and what their normal was. Therefore, there's no hard and fast rule on what's enough. So I think emotional intimacy is a big thing. Because, like, I think we mentioned this a couple of times, that women are emotional and we're more in touch with our feelings.
Yeah.
So, having that closeness, I think, is deeper than, like, the physical. So yeah, that's definitely how we receive love. And also another one is respect. Of course, we want to make sure that, you know, whoever we're with, that they respect us, because a lot of women are constantly disrespected every day. Yeah. There's always some post on Instagram or Facebook, whatever platform it is, that there's always, like, women are, like, talked about in a negative way. So women receive love through respect. Right. That the God respecting them. And the last one is validation. So being accepted. Yeah. And despite how they look, because a lot of women, I mean, not all, but a lot of women still is concerned with their body weight, you know, how they look. That's still a big thing. Yeah. Even though now I feel like women are a little bit more accepting of who they are. Like the singer Lizzo, she's heavy, but she's still confident, and that's all that body accepting. What's that called? Body
shaming?
No, not body shaming. It's body accepting, I guess. That's what it's called when
body appreciation.
Body appreciation. Like she's projecting that out there.
Yeah.
She's one of a few who's doing that. So being validated basically. And then women give love by supporting, helping their partner, and being a helpmate.
So this is how they give love.
Yeah, this is how we give love. Because I'm very helpful. Right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's the good answer. Of course, I would say emotional intimacy, that's how they give it. Same thing as how they receive it. And last is care about partner's well-being. Their health, mental health, physically, with their fitness. So, yeah.
So, should you
break up or
work it out if you're being cheated on? I believe that kind of goes back to the different forms of cheating.
That's good.
How did they cheat on you? Can you talk it over? And I believe the worst form of cheating, which probably everybody can agree with, is the physical cheating. If it went that far, first of all, is that person truly sorry? And if they are, can you truly forgive that person? And forgiveness would mean, first of all, let me go back to the person being truly sorry. If the person is truly sorry for what they did, they will take accountability for what they did. They apologize for what they did, and they will show with their actions that they aren't or will never go back to doing that. So let's go back to forgiving. If you're going to forgive, that means you don't bring it up. That means it's in the past and you move forward. So that's two things. The person that did it is showing accountability, and the person that it was done to is to forgive. I believe that's the only way it's going to work. If not, then you need to move on. Yeah,
I've been in a situation where I was the cheater. Yeah, and
testify. No.
Oh man. Okay, so why did I cheat? Right? Why did I cheat? That's the question. Why did I do it? Well, it was more to seek excitement for me. I was complacent with where I was and who I was with at the time, and we were, together for a while, and I was like, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to experience something with someone different in a different way. So that happened, and then when he actually found out about it on his own, I didn't bring it up, but when he found out, it was crazy situation, but he would still bring it up even after it was done. So I realized that he didn't fully forgive me, and it was either we would be together and he'd still bring it up, or even in a joking way, he would still bring it up. And I realized that he didn't forgive me because I was honest. Like, even though he found out on his own, I did tell him what happened. He was upset because I didn't say nothing about it. Right? So that's what happened. So basically, obviously broke up. But then I started thinking, that saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, is like, oh, well, is anyone going to date me? Because now I'm a cheater. So, do you agree with that statement?
Once a cheater, always a cheater?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I believe psychologically you can kind of get yourself out of that. I believe it is certain tendencies that come with it. Like, you have to find the root cause of okay, like in your behavior or your character as a person. Like, okay, why did I cheat? What was the root cause? What was the root cause of that? Excuse me. What was the root cause of that? basically. And I guess we can just use you for instance, since we're already looking at that.
Yeah.
For you, I believe it's kind of different because you're getting back into praying and being close to God. But for somebody else that doesn't believe in God, I don't really have too much experience with not being with God, but I would say living a life without God, if you were just a regular person and you're trying to find out how to not, can you not be a cheater anymore? I would say it's possible, but it would just take a considerable amount of self-reflection.
Yeah.
And definitely it would take a considerable amount of time for you to heal your own self. A considerable amount of time for you to just look back, like I said, look back at what the root problem of, okay, why am I like this, or why am I doing this? Why can't I be faithful in a relationship? So I wouldn't say once a cheater, always a cheater. You can change. But I can't speak from experience with that because I've never changed on my own without God.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. That's the only way I know how to do it, y'all. So somebody else, maybe you can tell me, but from my experience.
I mean, you have to have a change of heart.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. That is true.
But God will, like, if you have a relationship with God, it will be easy. Like, not easier. I mean, you have some guidance.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's like once you start getting close to God, He changes your heart.
Yeah, change. Yeah.
And I don't know how he got on this. But He changes your heart basically, and a lot of people think about that's why they kind of stray away from Christianity, because they thinking it's about like behavioral things, like I gotta change my behavior. It's not even that. When you get a relationship with God, He changes your heart, and because your heart changes, now your behavior changes. Mm-hmm. So, because to be quite honest, I don't know who I'd be if I didn't believe in God. So
yeah, same.
I
probably like
probably still be cheating.
Or I'd probably still be in an entanglement.
We probably would never met. I probably would have been.
We would not be having this. We wouldn't be having this business together. Yeah. This podcast together.
Would never met. I'll be in a whole nother state. I'll be in a whole other state somewhere. I don't know where I'll be at.
Wilding out.
Hollywood somewhere.
Hollywood?
Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't be downtown?
I don't know where I'll be at.
Oh.
No, but.
So to pretty much conclude how we feel about this.
Yeah, I feel like you need to heal yourself.
Yeah.
From whether you are the person who did the cheating or got cheated on, you need to heal.
And in the words of Missy Elliott,
you cheat on me, you get no love. You gon' be sad when you see I had enough. You gon' be sad when you see I had enough. You gon' be mad when you see I had enough, huh?
Ooh, all right. Yep, that's it right there. If you cheater, no love.
Wow.
Women out, that's for my women out there. No love. Don't give them no love. If they cheat on you, no love. Don't give them up. Don't give up that wop either. Okay. All right. So if you don't know what that is, look that up, guys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, especially my older generation, they don't know what I'm talking about. They gonna have to look that up. Everybody mostly, yeah. You know what you're talking about. I just had to end that. That's my song though. For those who don't know, that's by Tony Braxton. I think it's called "Do It." That's a good song right there. And I love Missy Elliott. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Actually, that's it.
That's it for this episode.
Next time
on
CJ Honesty. All right. CJ Honesty.
Just being honest, nothing but the truth.